Hey, guys. Welcome to Blended Family Podcast. And I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. I hope everyone is getting dressed up and have somewhere to go. I'm actually, even though this is going to be episode 6, it is a part 1 because I am having other people come to join me, unfortunately, because it is a live production. And it's time for me to put up my next episode. I'm going to start this one as a solo, and then forward I will have about one other person, maybe 2 other people that would join me to continue this conversation. So for this episode, it is called Dating with Intentions. So y'all already know my history. Y'all know I've been married twice. I know I have children from both marriages. You know I'm divorced. And the dating game, dating after divorce, is not easy. And probably not easy for both sides, for the men and for the women as well. But this right here, dating with intentions, because no matter who comes into our lives, if a man come into my life, he's going to be part of a blended family. I'm already part of a blended family because I have 2 such different marriages. So my family is automatically blended. Even though they are not raised that way, they are raised as full brothers, because I have 3 boys. Nonetheless, anyone that do come into my life, they will be part of this blended family. And if they have children themselves, they will also be part of the blended family. So it will be like, once again, one home, another home, coming together as one, which is awesome. And then it goes the same for anybody else who is, who's, let's scratch all of that. At our ages, we are in our 40s. The majority of us have children, we have been married, we have been divorced, or we've been in long committed relationships, that, still have children and, it ended. So at this stage in our lives, it has to be a purpose. It has to be an intention there of why this person wants to come into my life or why I even want to come into somebody else's life. I know for the most of us, I have my groups of conversations on a daily basis. And, some of us, we miss the cuddles, the hugs, the I love yous, and someone to come home to. But it has to be more than that, especially when you have children involved. Someone cannot come into your life just for you. They have to also understand that they are coming into the children's lives, the lives of your children, as well as you may be in the lives of their children as well. It can be a little tricky. It can be a little hard at times, but, there is a game to it. What is so incredible about being in a blended family is the different type of upbringings. You may have someone who may come from a destitute background. You may have someone who came from a silver spoon or a gold spoon, platinum. I was raised with no spoons. And that would be another story during another season that I would get into. So, for some of us, life has been extremely hard. We try to break cycles and to make sure that our children, do not grow up in that manner. And then you have others who have like a pretty decent, childhood, adulthood, and they are willing, to expand on that. And having a blended family come together and learning each other cultures or learning each other backgrounds. Most people don't know that I do have a West Indian background and I am engulfed in it very heavily, even though I have no accent and I am born here, straight American, Black American on top of that. But I do have a heavy background in my Jamaican roots, and as well as I'm touching on to my Cuban roots as well, but that is me. And that is something that I'm also trying to pass on to my kids. Lord knows I'm really trying to pass it on. Auntie, I hope you be proud of me because I'm trying. I'm trying not to end our culture here at this point. But then I may come into someone who is American. I may come into someone who's from a different part of the Caribbean, or, just a different part of the world. These days, blended families also consist of having interracial relationships as well. And I've come across some stories, whereas, the culture of it, of course, is completely different, especially if you have someone who is of an African American descent to someone who is, white American. There are differences there, but that's the beauty of it. Whereas you get to learn more. There are some things that we may not learn about the white culture, and there's some things that the white culture may not know about the black culture. Things like that. So interracial relationships are coming in together as one. It's a lot of that. And I actually will have a guest who is in a blended family, whereas she is African American and I believe he's white. I believe he's white. So trust me, when that episode comes, I will correct it if I'm not. And they have been going strong, I think now since the pandemic. So it's been like a good 3 years. I think they're going on 4. So, and they're going, and just like any relationship, they have the up and downs, but they have the intentions. They have where they want to go with their relationship, what they want to do, how the children are affected by it. I mean, it's a lot, and it's not that, people can date. I tell people all the time, I believe you should date to find your mate, which means, yeah, you may end up dating either 1 or 2, maybe 2 to 3 people at the same exact time, not sleeping with them, just dating, getting to know them. And then you start to eliminate the person that, that doesn't, meet your criteria, and, or they may feel like you don't meet their criteria. Could go either way, but nonetheless, that's dating with intentions. You're dating to find your mate. That has always been my intentions, to date to find my mate. I am a very loyal woman where I like to only stick with one man only. And I am that woman, whereas once I am into you, there is no other man that comes close to you. And that's just me, others are different, but I'm just a very, very loyal. I mean, I am a very loyal woman. Does it always happen in return to me? Not necessarily, but it is what it is. It's what life is. There's a lot of temptation out there. It doesn't matter how many wigs I may switch up. It doesn't matter if I wear makeup or if I don't. If I have the idealistic body, which I do not have, and I'm okay with that. I've been okay with it for 43 years now. It hasn't stopped me from getting anybody, and I doubt if it ever will stop me from getting anybody. Needless to say, I do date with intentions. My intentions is to look for a lifelong partner. I'm still scared about the marriage part because I have been married twice. However, I can have a long-term companion, someone that is close in age, someone that has the same spark, have the same energy I have, and still a go-getter, because even being in your 40s or even in your 50s, you are still primarily young. You're only old until you feel like you old and you feel like you can't do it. People are in their 60s and they are still rocking it out. So, it really just depends on you. I don't feel old at all. My mind is at a 20-year-old stage where I feel like I can do this, I can do that, but I ain't gonna even lie to you. Sister girl be sitting here on the couch with knees jacked up. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm not liking the 40s like this, but it's a beautiful thing, and any man, excuse me, that comes into my life, he has to be receptive to my children. I have very respectful children. I have playful children. My children, they do have my personality. My 2 youngest ones, they kind of a mixture of me and their dad, which is great, because, they open, but then at the same time, they could be a little standoffish because they have to observe. And they definitely get that from their dad, as well as a little bit from me as well, because I'm open, but I'm also shy at the same time. Like, y'all don't even understand or even know how I was breathing in and out before this even started. I was like, oh my gosh, like I just get nervous, but needless to say, let's, for 2024, let's try to date with some intentions. I am not at home, as you can see, but I have a notebook of what it is that I look for in a man. I want to look for that trustworthiness. I want to look for somebody who can communicate with me freely. And, they could be the type of person where they could come to me and vent. I'm not going to list all of it out there, but I have certain things that I do look for in a man. And during the dating time, I am able to tell if this person actually have it or not. So that helps me eliminate it, and I have a way where I can kind of friend zone people very quickly, because you can have conversations with certain people and it's just like, yeah, this is not the person, sometimes a little slip of the mouth. The one thing that I know, me and my girls actually talk about is when men do approach us and they could see us like this, dressed or whatever. And it's like, are you seeing me for the person I am, or are you trying to see me sexually? So that's another thing as well. Some of us, we're kind of iffy about some of the people that we may come across, but that's why conversation is important. You date with those intentions. Like I said, I'm looking for longevity. I'm not the dating type where I want to date several people at the same time. That's just not me. Usually I find one and I'll be like, okay, this is it. And it's crazy because I've heard through another podcaster on Instagram, a gentleman who actually said women should not date just one guy. They should date several guys, at least, like I said, 2 to 3, and not sleeping with them, but going out on dates, getting to know them and stuff like that. For me, I felt like I did all of that in my 20s. I can't see myself doing that now in my 40s because I don't have the bandwidth. I'll be honest with you. I travel from one state to the next state. I live very far next to another state. Then I have kids. They in sports. So mommy's out there, after work on the court with them and stuff like that. I just don't have the bandwidth. And then also another thing that I used to be very hard on, which was dating someone who already have children. So, and the reason why I used to say I prefer to date someone with children, because they will understand that if we are set to go out on a date and one of my sons gets sick at the last minute, I'm not going to leave them. I'm going to have to do mommy, play Dr. Mommy like I usually have been doing for the last 17 years. So, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have to, cancel our date. And usually men who have children already understand that. Not to say that I haven't come across anyone who do not have children and may not understand that, because that's not what I'm saying at all. But there was a point in time where I had preferred to only date someone who had children, and that was my intention. That was a strong one on top of that. So, now, of course, if I come across someone who doesn't have children, I'm still at the age where maybe I can pop out one, maybe. But also at the same time, I think he will be understanding, at our age, career wise and all that other stuff, that things can happen. And that's just how I feel about it. Of course, I can't wait to get the other parties on here for them to discuss their opinions on this as well. So even I'm gonna tell you, at least one of the people is going to be my brother. I am like, he could be very controversial. That's all I'm going to say. But he is phenomenal, and he likes to get his point of view across. And whether you're here to agree or disagree, he's just that type of person, and I love it. I really do. But as I was stating earlier, for 2024, for men and for women. And then I will love to see what you actually have. And if you even want to join in on the conversation, part 2 of this, whereas I want to hear what your criteria is, what your dating intentions are. What is it that you're looking for a person for the long term? I love listening to people who have already been married. I love it. I envy you guys so much because marriage is so beautiful. It really, really is beautiful. And it's even more beautiful when you can find that one person that is like your everything. And I think that's what most of us want. We want to be that everything to everyone, not to everyone, excuse me, to that one person. You want to be that everything to one person. And I know that's where I want to go. I was at my brother this past week, And him and his wife, they gave me the most beautiful gift of them all. They had their son on my birthday. So I went up there, and of course I had to see my baby because he is my baby. So I had to go see my baby and spend a little time with him. And unfortunately, they had to go back to the hospital. So I was there with my brother, and me and my brother, we were just having this hardcore conversation. I involved another individual in because he also have strong point views, and I was just like, him, my brother, this is an explosion. But it was good. It actually went better than I actually expected. It really did. It went better than I expected. So, but I love to hear that. But at the same time, with my brother going back and forth to the hospital and also being there for me, I had to commend my brother, and I told him that I love the way he loves his wife. I love the way she loves him. I mean, the love is there. And it's not to say they haven't gone through it. These two have gone through it, but they have gone through the struggles together. They have been there for one another together. And they're also a blended family. So my brother was previously married as well. He has two beautiful children, my niece and nephew, love them to death. And she also have two kids from a previous relationship. And they came together, one boy, one girl, one boy. They have one of each. And they came together as one. And now this one, which his name is Quentin, now solidifies them, just like locks them in solid. And I'm just like, I freaking love this. And it's like, this is what I want. This is, I want that person that's just be like, that's my woman. So I could be like, my man, my man, my man. Oh, most of us women always say, we're like, my man, my man, my man, my man, this, my man, that. And don't let us get married. Oh my gosh, it is a wrap. My husband, yes, honey, my husband, this, my husband, we're horrible. But that's because we're proud. We're proud of the men that we have in our lives. We're proud to be wives, or we're proud to be significant others. I don't think at this age, at 43, we actually say girlfriend and boyfriend. I think we say significant other or partner. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I just prefer that. I was like, I don't know, calling me 43 a girlfriend. I don't know. I don't know. But it's just beautiful. It's beautiful to see people in love. It's beautiful to see people with intentions in their relationship. I love to see the compromising that they go through because it's not easy. One of my worst fears is that I still have young children. So, and I'm heavily involved with their dad, which is a good thing. I'm going to say that, guys. It is a good thing. We co-parent very, very well, but we're oil and water. I'll leave it at that. But we co-parent very excellent. And, some people may not be comfortable with that. And it makes it hard for the woman because, you hear all this craziness of stories where women can't even get their, the children fathers in their lives, or to do this and do that. I am blessed. And I think I've always said that in every episode. I am truly, truly blessed in that. And I truly thank God for that. I have 100% fathers in their lives, and they are going strong, and they do for their kids. Most times I don't even have to step in because they're doing their thing. But, if you have someone who is new, would they be able to accept that? So, and those are open dialogues that you must have in the beginning with the person so they understand exactly what's going on. I have to be thankful for people that I have dated in the past. I had let them know the circumstances, and not to say that they was like okay with it. But I built enough trust. They had enough, what's the word I want to use? Access to me. So it wasn't like I was hiding, like, oh my gosh, I can't talk to you right now. No. It's none of that. There is somewhat of respect there. But however, if you need me, I don't care if you FaceTime me. I don't care if you call me. I'm going to pick up that phone. The only time I can't pick up the phone and I'll let you know, like, listen, I'm getting the kids ready for bed. I'm going to call you right back. That's it. Other than that, I'm picking up, hey, what's going on? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? So I hope a lot of you guys are also having dialogues like that with the person that you are dating, especially if you're dating with intentions and you want this person to be in your life. Be as open as possible. You don't have to tell everything, from the cradle to the grave, but you can allow them into your space and into your part of dealing with another man or woman who you have children by, you know, and that's all I'm saying with that. But I want to see a list. I want to see a list. I want to see what it is that you're looking for in a person. What is the actual goal that you're looking for? You know, some goals is to finally get married and have that family, and live that happily ever after, you know, to the best of their abilities. For most of us, it's trying to make sure we can find the right person that will do right by us, because we know we're going to do right by that person. I'm looking for I always say this, I love to dance. A lot of you guys don't know that I am a professional dancer, and I'm looking for a lifelong dance partner. I'm looking for a travel partner. I'm looking for a partner that I could be like, my man, my man, my man. I'm looking for that person that I can just vent to and not be judged. I'm looking for that person that's going to communicate to me. I'm looking for a person that I can cry to, because I'm emotional and I'm sensitive. You could say the wrong thing to me, I would cry, but I have a heart of steel at the same time. So like, I'm mad at you, you know, I'm crying. So you're seeing the sensitive side of me, or a sensitivity side of me. But at the same time, I'm just like, you know, that's just how it is. But, so I am looking forward to all of that. I want to wish you guys a happy new year. We are in the countdown now. I'm super excited about 2024. For me, it has a lot to do with my house. I already have a house, but I'm talking about like fixing it up, doing some new combinations to my house. You know, I'm asking God to bless me financially in that way, so I could be able to do everything in one swallow, and bless me in other ways as well. You know, definitely in the love department, and then also, you know, for my children to be receptive to it as well. You know, my kids are very selfish with me, and I'm okay with that. But at some point in time, you know, they have to understand that, you know, mommy is going to have a new love in her life. And, you know, I think as long as I inform my kids that I'm in love with this person, they will also understand it and would start to love the person as well. You know, as long as he can make them their friends, that's the starting foundation. And I'm all about building a solid foundation. That has always been my creed right there. So once again, I want to thank you all for tuning into Blended Family. This is my first live, so I know I messed up on some wording and everything. Do not judge me. Do not judge me. But we will have a part 2 coming, and it will be other parties in it. I'm going to try to get that situated as well. But once again, thank you. Happy New Year, and I cannot wait to see you next year. Take care. Bye.